So is this whole thing SCP'd yet? I was like, are these special containment procedures just for me, or?
Purchase could be free when you use your Credit Karma Visa debit card. Free groceries, free gas, or even a free TV. It's called Instant Karma, and you can only win it from Credit Karma Money. Open your account for free in the Credit Karma app.
I just mentioned that his favorite Christmas song was White Christmas. I hate to break it to him, but if you're dreaming of a white Christmas, you might be a racist. Of course, I'm talking about snow, but America can't escape the framework of skin color. Because instead of spreading cheer and joy this holiday season, Black Lives Matter is asking its followers to participate in segregation. They called their mission Black Xmas, and its goal is pretty simple. Fight, quote, white supremacist capitalism. Now you're probably wondering, what is white supremacist capitalism? And that also is simple. It's any business owned by a white person. So if you want to celebrate Black Xmas this year, all you have to do is stay away from those white supremacist stores and spend money exclusively at black-owned businesses.
So I can't put money on Amazon? I can't use Amazon?
Black people.
Using Bezos, you kidding me? You fucking kidding me? Bill Gates, no Microsoft for you.
White supremacists.
You're done. Quit using your phone. Apple,
like
this
Amazon,
is over.
Microsoft, Google, Coca-Cola. They lined up to give Black Lives Matter millions. And BLM happily accepted. In fact, they raised more than $90 million
I'll just take this guy out there and I'll shake the shit out of him in front of you while he's my Murphy and I'll be Rick.
Sure.
And I will just do it because he's going to do this at some point in time because I'm not wrong.
Mansions after her non-profit raked in all that cash. So we've established that Black Lives Matter is full of hypocrites who will take money from companies they consider to be white supremacists while telling their followers to boycott them. But how do Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Coca-Cola, how do they feel about segregated shopping?
I'm moving
well, they've been silent so far.
45 keeps it trucking.
Look, I can
well, they're going to argue across the hard line what any boss is going to argue. I want all the money, even if the tornado comes through. I'm built for tornadoes, short of the fucking world record to hurt a tornado.
More in common with Eugene Bull Connor than they do Martin Luther King.
Well, those pressures are level 5 in that spot where they're probably building code and not being there. And
you've got to keep the white and the black separate.
That's why we made rules like that.
Returning to the segregated lunch
keep the
counter
arborists
is
out of the
ugly
garbage
enough,
trucks.
and every moral American should shout it down. But there's even more to this story because Black Xmas is part of something much larger.
Back to the mill. You just go there. Okay.
Democrats are now pushing
Let's go there with a camera. Post out system here.
Audits
put it in a pot.
Soon
put it in a pot.
Employer near you.
That's the dollar. That's timeline. The stretch is what you make it. It's Girl Scout. It's what is it?
Of finding businesses $20,000 a day if they refuse to comply. Comply with what? Well, they say promoting racial justice, but it actually does the exact opposite. Here's how. One popular part of this audit calls for abolishing the definition of marriage.
Money smashing.
So
I like they get out there, they bring out a case, they say that's what that is. I like Sharp's case it because these guys are pretty good about the legal, at least what the federal represent when the local judge or sheriff comes to call
why are
us.
they pushing these audits? To take control of corporate America.
Okay.
The audits are usually performed by outside groups with, get this, close ties to Democrats and George Soros. So when they say they're looking to promote diversity, equity, and inclusion, in reality, they're using these audits to move their operatives into top positions in powerful tech companies in order to do their bidding. Listen to
data mining fucking coin inside of here for you to not do it anyways, and if I got out here, you would shoot me because I fucking moved.
To review new products from tech companies before they're released to the public. This gives auditors, of course, carte blanche, final say over technology we are allowed to use. So are tech companies open to taking orders from these radical groups? It seems so. The Washington Free Beacon reports in 2018, Color of Change, quote, successfully pushed Facebook into completing an audit that called for more restrictions on Trump's posts. After the audit was released, Facebook then hired an Obama administration Justice Department official to lead the company's civil rights strategy. just want to remind you, this has nothing to do with helping black people or promoting racial equality. So what is their goal?
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.
You can show people that, but what's the true hydrogen in this goddamn thing? I'm home. Tell me, Tucker. I don't know. And another one. Trying to creep down. Okay. This is the kind of thing.
Person, this is Anton, and today we're going to be discussing water, or actually the origin of water here on planet Earth. And specifically, we're talking about a new study that seems to have uncovered another potential source from which water might have come. A somewhat unlikely source, as a matter of fact. That source being our sun itself. So the study that, as always, you can find in the description below, presents a pretty strong argument that at least some of the water might have actually come from the sun. And that, of course, needs a bit of an explanation because, as you probably know, sun is mostly made out of hydrogen. But to start, let's discuss the idea of the origin of water still being a bit of a mystery. Now, for many years, for many decades, the scientists thought that maybe it came from various asteroids and various comets. As a matter of fact, comets were the primary assumed source simply because of the amount of water present on their surface and inside of them. But then we got to visit some of these comets, including the famous 67P comet, and during that exploration, the scientists have discovered that the water present here was a little bit different. It wasn't the same water as what we have on planet Earth. And to be more exact, it was the difference in the isotope composition of water itself. So here on Earth, water generally has three very specific isotopes in a very specific ratio.
Look at the map there, actually there's a bunch of them. You're looking at these ones.
And that's in terms of mass. In reality, you actually have 6 different isotopes based on how heavy the oxygen and how heavy the hydrogen are as well. But investigating comets, the scientists discovered a completely different ratio there, which of course suggested to the scientists that it's most likely that some of the water came from somewhere else, or possibly even most of the water on Earth was not from comets. Now the next obvious explanation would be asteroids and cosmic dust, but to date only in some of the asteroids the isotopes sort of matched. But unfortunately there are just not enough of them around to explain the amount of water on planet Earth. And the asteroids we usually refer to as the carbonaceous chondrites seem to match the best.
Of a timeline of a build of things that I would like to see.
Of all of the asteroids that fall on our planet. So the numbers here just don't add up. Something other than asteroids should also be producing some of the underwater, possibly even most of it. Now, one of the bigger explanations from a few years ago did not look for the solution in outer space. It actually looked for the solution inside the planet. And this explanation or this proposition that you can watch in one of the older videos suggested that a lot of the water probably came from within the planet, from the minerals that already had water when the planet was just created. For example, one of these minerals that's well known to actually have a lot of water on the inside is the mineral located approximately 1,000 kilometers underneath the surface of planet Earth, and it's known as ringed woodite. But unfortunately, these propositions are somewhat difficult to prove, mostly because we can't just go inside the planet and measure how much water is potentially stored there. And so even though the explanation was quite unique and also explains the potential origin of water, it was almost impossible to scientifically prove this, unless of course we find a way to study ringed woodite in its natural setting and see how much water it stores on, for example, some other planet or in some other environment.
Like I said, I like him for the astrology of the Navy Center. When it comes around later, what do you see out there? Jupiter's in the neighborhood, maybe a lined up planet. Alright, the satellite's going to land in the South China Sea, right? Am I right? 7 on the Laplacian?